So, what are mobile devices? Mobile devices are any computer devices small enough to hold in your hand. So that could be a cell phone, a tablet, any kind of smartphone, all types of tablets. So from there, should we allow cell phones at school? So while cell phones can be used for learning tools, can also be challenging for some school-related tasks. Having your cell phone, if you're not responsible enough, it can lead to cheating on a test, texting while your teacher's doing lesson and you don't know what's going on. So we'll talk about some pros and cons of having mobile devices in a classroom. Also, when I say cell phones, I kind of say that more than I say mobile devices, but I mean both. Cell phones, tablets, all those nice things. So, should teachers allow mobile devices in the classroom? Yes, because it teaches students responsibilities, meaning I allow you to have your cell phone in the classroom, but if you choose to use your cell phone while I'm giving a lesson, that's on you. If you ask a question and I say, well, you're on your phone, so I'm not going to repeat it, you can't technically be mad because I allow you to use your cell phone. I'm not going to tell you yes or no, but you used it at the wrong time. So there's always a time and a place to use your cell phone in class. So there might be downtime in a class where you're doing your work, you want to text back someone or look at social media, you could do that and I wouldn't have issues with it. Cell phones should not be allowed in classes because, like I say, they can be a distraction. Also, could lead to cheating. If you allow students to use their cell phones and you don't take them up during the test, you have to notice that some kids might try to slide up their phone or their tablet and figure out what the answers are because they probably were on their cell phone when you were doing the lecture. So next, why might you consider banning phones? So the problems of banning phones are, let's see what my pros would be. Banning cell phones reduces the chance to cheat, which I guess is my biggest thing for some reason. Like if you cheat, you don't really know it, so that means when you go to the next grade level or the next class, you don't really know it. So I guess that's why I'm so big on cheating. The pros of banning cell phones, it provides an equal opportunity for more students. If I tell this student you're not allowed for a cell phone, and I tell this student you're not allowed for a cell phone, I'm giving y'all both the equal opportunity to receive for the information that I'm giving you. The cons of it, just say I don't allow cell phones in my classroom and there is an emergency, that something's happened to your mom, and only the people who know about it was people like at her job. It might not know what school you go to or what class you're in or what grade or a situation like that, but they can get into your mom's phone and all they have is your name and your cell phone number. So situations like that make you want to say, well, I don't want to ban cell phones because if a situation happened like this, we want to be able to get the child to the mother as soon as possible or whatever the case may happen. Like I say, cell phones can affect learning tool. Is an effective learning tool. When you get into older classrooms, Kahoot. If I told you at the beginning of the year you can't bring tablets and cell phones, and I don't have enough computers or tablets in my classroom, how can we use Kahoot? So that's kind of what I say. There's pros, there's cons of having cell phones. It's just kind of a time and a place when to use them. Or mobile devices. Mobile devices in the classroom, as I say, pros of it will be adding communication for families. Some students might feel more safe by having their cell phone. Just say a situation happened like a fire or a lockdown, something like that. They have their phone or their mobile device to contact their parents. Cell phones, like I say, is a fantastic research tool in the classroom. If you're at a lower school that doesn't have enough computers, tablets, you can say, okay, well, y'all have your own tablets that y'all can bring on Wednesday, y'all can bring, and you can work off of those. Or you have your cell phone today, I'll let you use it to research what we're doing in class. Also, another great one is cell phones create opportunities for social learning. There's always different ways you can learn. When you get technology involved, you'll learn different things with different students. Cons, you have to think about cyberbullying. You need to think about child predators. You know, you can't necessarily monitor what your student's doing on their personal mobile device. So they could be sitting there and you told them to go to Kahoot in their own Kahoot, but they're also on another browser doing something they should not be doing. I have no access to see what that student is doing on their phone. As if they were on a computer, sometimes you'll have systems where you can monitor what each child is doing on each computer. When they have their own mobile device, you can't monitor that. They might have been on Facebook messaging someone, told them to come to the school, to this classroom. They bust in here and try to take the student out of here. So you have to think about, you know, when you're young, you can be dumb and stupid and do things, and then it can come back and kind of hurt the teacher because it's like, oh, well, you allowed cell phones in the room, you wasn't monitoring, but as I say, it's hard to monitor a personal mobile device. Next we have, did you know that mobile devices made it such easier to be on social media? The students really need their availability in social media because it will help them contact the higher officials and make them get a better career. I didn't know this until I researched about mobile devices, but there is a graph saying that a lot of students are contacting certain people off of social media that helps them in a longer term, like getting a job. So just say like, I go to a conference, they give me their Snapchat or their Instagram, their Twitter, Facebook. So now they actually have this social media and they're talking to them or just keeping in touch with them. Then by the time they graduate from high school or from college, they reach out to them off social media and they're like, oh, I remember when you did so-and-so, so-and-so, I'm gonna give you, you know, this internship here. So social media is a great opportunity for students. So I never really wanna, I wouldn't say I never really, but maybe they can hold their social media while they're in my classroom for a while. Then they can get back to it, 'cause I hate to mess up anybody's opportunity on the job or internship. That was just a fun fact. Majority of teenagers can have cell phones at school, but not in class. So that is what you'll find most common. Most schools will allow you to have your cell phone at school. But you'll have certain teachers, like in high school, I knew like there was 3 teachers I could have my cell phone, they didn't care. Then you had that one teacher's like, they better not see it in your pocket, you know? So overall, that's common. So you have 24% of teens attending school. They are forbidden to have cell phones at school at all times. So you do have a percent of schools that do not allow cell phones at all. You have 62% of teenagers are allowed, or teens are allowed to have cell phones at school, but not in class. So then you'll have some who will allow you to bring it to school, but majority of them cannot bring it into the classrooms. Then you have always that 1% that doesn't know, they probably haven't been in school in centuries. 1% that said that doesn't apply to them, you know, that one student you have that's like, the rules don't apply to me, I do what I want to do. Then you have that 12% of teens who are allowed to have their cell phones at school at all times. So they can bring it in any classroom, any teacher, the school's okay with it, all the teachers are okay with it. What are some benefits of having phones in classrooms? So, a lot of students will either have voice notes. So if they have their cell phone, I necessarily don't have to record myself at home during my lecture. I can say, hey, turn on your voice notes, record this so you'll have it for tomorrow. Boom, they got it. But if I don't allow cell phones, then that might be an issue. You have GPS tracking for some parents. Growing up, I've always had a tracker on my phone, on my car, you know, on any device that my parents could put a GPS on. So, you know, your parents are at work, they check in and, oh, Nakina's at school, we have nothing to worry about, so it's another con of having cell phones. Pro of having cell phones. Like I say, voice notes and memory aids, those kind of go neck and neck. It's a learning aid. There's calendars. Some students, most students in high school, middle school, they're not gonna have a planner. They're not gonna be that organized. If you can say, take out your phone, put this in your phone, most of them are gonna have that, or most of them are gonna have a mobile device that they keep on them. So that's always another thing. I'll tell you, hey, take out your mobile device, put in next Friday, I'm not gonna be here, you're gonna have a sub, you're gonna act right, that might just happen. And instant communication. So like you say, with blogs, newsletters, anything that goes out, you'll be able to do electronically. If they have a mobile device, that would be great. And